Um, hey, Eric, before you get going, do you mind if I give an update on something we talked about earlier?
Yeah, please do.
I don't know how many of you guys were on the training, but on one of the trainings, we brought up a deal I was working on because we were talking about how important it was to make your addendums specific, right, and in order, and get things signed on time. We were talking about contracts and whatnot, and I threw out an example of a deal I was currently in. I've now closed it, so this is like the update. But there was a big discrepancy between what the seller, what my buyer was willing to pay. 40, I think it was $40,000. And so, no, it was $20,000. So difference of 540 is what my buyer wanted to pay. 560 is where the seller was at. Okay. So the listing agent had suggested, hey, why don't we all participate? Why don't we each give $5,000 to the deal? The seller will come down 5, your buyer come up 5, and we each kick in 5 of our commission. And I'm like, well, you know what? I've never given a seller $5,000 of my commission ever to the seller. You know, my commission's with my client, you know. So I just, that's what I told him. I've never done that before. That doesn't sound likely. So some time was going on in between that conversation and them coming back to us and say, hey, are you guys still interested? Do you want to send us a counter offer? Because they hadn't accepted our offer. It just lapsed. So I went to my client and I said, you know what, I'm getting tired of talking to this listing agent because he's just talking nonsense. And I already know where you want to be. You want to be at 540. He's an investor. He owns a bunch of properties. He pays cash for them. He doesn't need this property, right? So I said, should I just tell him we're done, or should we come up a little bit? And he said, nah, let's come up 5. Let's go 545. So I wrote up a counter offer to revive the contract at 545 and sent it to them, and they accepted it. Well, once they signed that and accepted it, we're under contract at 545, right? The listing agent, after we were under contract, sent me an escrow disbursement authorization, or no, it's called escrow instructions for our commission disbursement, lowering my commission by $5,000. Which was his suggestion on how we all play in the game. Well, I never signed it. He sent it to me. I'm like, I never agreed to that. So I just let it sit. And this is months ago. And the reason it was months ago is because soon as I got the PR on the property, I noticed that they had a certificate of non-compliance filed against the property because he did a full remodel and didn't pull out permits, and the city found out. So they put a stop order on the property, non-compliance. You need to fix all this stuff, pull permits before we're going to move forward. So sorry, this is taking longer than I thought it would take, but what I did is I sent him an addendum to change our timelines. I found this out luckily within like 2 days. So we hadn't even deposited earnest money. So I sent him an addendum specifying that the date to deposit earnest money would be 4 calendar days after a certificate of compliance was filed to counteroffer the non-compliance, right? And then I did my due diligence, financing appraisal, and settlement after that. So basically we were in limbo till they figured out their stuff. I'll skip all the other details that I went through, but bottom line is we had a settlement date coming up, and it came up. The morning of settlement, the listing agent's transaction coordinator called me and said, hey, I just wanted to bring to your attention that you never signed the escrow instructions to change the commission. And I said, you're right, I didn't. I never agreed to that. And she's like, oh, okay. Well, I think Lee's going to be calling you to talk about this. And I'm like, that's fine. I know he had suggested it at one point, but it was never agreed to in writing or anything like that. So he called me and he made a big mistake. Now, I've paid a lot of money over the years in tuition for my mistakes, right? I just chalk it up. That's just the way it is. He is apparently a newer agent, was relying on his transaction coordinator because she said, oh, I know how to do this. I know, basically she knew which form to use, but it wasn't incorporated as part of the deal. It wasn't incorporated as part of the purchase contract. And on top of that, they sent it to me after we were already under contract. So now it's kind of like an additional negotiating item that never got agreed to. So I feel bad for him. But basically our conversation went and I turned it around. I said, what if I was calling you to point out a mistake I had made and asking you to contribute $5,000 towards my mistake. And he's like, good point. Let me talk to my broker. And he hung up. Anyway, it recorded later that day. I never heard back from him, heard boo. So whatever he had to work out with his client, because he was telling me that, hey, my client only accepted the 545 under the deal we talked about. I said, no, you proposed a deal that we didn't agree to, and it wasn't in writing. In fact, he hadn't even signed the escrow instructions. So he still had a full listing agreement with commissions. I'm like, you got to work that out with your client, with your seller. So anyway, I just bring that up because I had brought it up before. Some of you may or may not have been on the call, but super, super important when there's terms that your client need incorporated into the deal. The timeliness of when they're signed and written up is super, super important. You don't go under contract and agree on price and then still have a really major important term for that it's important to your client in order to proceed at that price that's not signed. Because I have nobody has any obligation to sign it. So now he can start keeping his tally on his expensive tuition and learning real estate. But anyway, just a heads up, make sure everything's in writing, agreed to, signed before the acceptance deadline. I had another mentee that was able to just unravel a deal because the acceptance wasn't signed before the acceptance deadline and her client wanted out. Well, technically they weren't even under contract. So it was easy to get out. That's it. That's all I got, Eric.
Very good lesson. So if you were on the other side of it, how would you have incorporated that before you did the addendum?
What I would have done, incorporates a good word, because on that addendum, if I would have, let's flip flop. I get the addendum that says purchase price to be $545,000. In my mind, I'm going, wait a minute. Okay, he came up 5, like that's one component of the $20,000. My client was only willing to come down 5. There's still a $10,000 discrepancy. So if I'm him and I had already agreed in my mind that I would come down $5,000, then I would have not accepted that. I would have checked counteroffer. I would have sent a counteroffer addendum and said the terms and conditions of the attached escrow instructions and commission disbursement, whatever that form's called, are to be incorporated as part of this transaction. That would have been my counteroffer. Now I'm pulling that in for them to accept or reject. So he sends that to me and I'm going to go to my client and I'm going to work out whatever I do with on the buyer side. It's now up to me to work out whatever I am with commissions for my client, not for his client. That's what he should have done. And I actually, without demeaning him or putting him down, kind of used it as a coaching moment. And I did exactly that, Eric. I said, I kind of what should have been done. And I kind of outlined it. What you should have done is done this. That way it would have been part of the transaction. But right now it's not part of the transaction. I never even verbally agreed to it, much less in writing. So you should have pulled that into the transaction. And that's how you would do it. If you're going to have something that is a form, it's not really an addendum number, it's instructions. You need to say the attached such and such to be incorporated as part of the terms of this transaction. And then when they accept that, now it's part of the deal.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. Glad you got it done.
Yeah, it was a nice one to get done. We went under contract in August.
Oh, wow. That's and it's not new construction. Right?
Nope. It was a nice new remodel.
Wow.
But now all the permits and everything's taken care of and we move forward. So
awesome. Well, sure loved Jordy's training today. If you guys didn't see that, we'll have a recording up on that soon, but what a great job he did, huh? And it really worked. It really fit in nicely to your listing presentation last week of how to present a home when you're selling it to hit that top price, whether it's an ARV or just a staging for a high-end resale, you're going for that top price. Just a great match. Those two classes fit really nicely together.
Yeah, they really did. I was thinking about that as he was talking about it. It's like, and I've had conversations like this before, but we're really teaching our clients when we're the listing agent to flip their own house, get it in the best condition possible. So Jordy just takes one product and makes it a new one. And sometimes it doesn't take that much. It takes cleaning and prep and decluttering and some sprucing up, some paint, flooring. You could see in some of those pictures he shared, he didn't even replace the cabinetry, he just painted them. So it takes a little bit of effort, but any client can be a flipper. In fact, I got a phone call from another agent that was on that. That's why I signed on a little bit late, because he called me because he flips, and we were having a conversation about that process and how he has helped his clients. Um, Sometimes he's even their lender. He'll loan them the money to do the improvements to their house for a rate of return, and helps them flip their own house rather than try and get the wholesale deal himself.
That's great. Yeah, thanks for putting those together. That's excellent. So tonight, Jeff, I have, first of all, these Tuesday night trainings, we call them new agent trainings, right? But really it's just, it's for everybody, whoever wants, some additional trainer or questions. We haven't done a Q&A in a long time. We're not going to do that tonight, but every once in a while we'll just do a Q&A and go through some different topics of what you guys are up against and what you want to, get a little sharper on. But just, remember, whatever you guys want to go over, this is your time. So I actually had DL a few weeks ago ask us to do a KvCore training, kind of an overview. And just so you know, Jeff, DL just texted me. He was on and he has a really bad signal reception. He said, is this being recorded? Because I want to watch it later. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just going to mention, he was just on and now he's not.
Yeah.
And yes, I do have the record on. So
Yeah, I texted him yesterday. I said, are you going to be on tomorrow night? Because I want to go over the KvCore. So he knows what it's about. He'll watch it.
okay.
Yeah, I wanted to do that. I think we haven't done one in a long time. And it's such a cool tool. It's very unique. We talk about it all the time, that it has a lot of components from really A to Z on, not only just keeping track of your, past clients, but your prospects, everybody, and doing some advertisement, your website, all of it. So if you guys have questions as we go through, just let me know, but I'm going to kind of run through a bunch of things on KvCore. And let's see if I can share the right screen this time, Jeff.
Yeah, right.
Let's see. Can you guys see? What do you guys see?
Workplace.
All right. So first of all, you guys hear this new announcement? We have it's our first managing broker in Utah. I'm pretty excited about that. So,
Yeah,
so a little announcement there. Kristen Perkins has joined us to help out Rick. So we've got 2 brokers to help us out. Really happy about that. And we've got some good classes coming out this week. Always try to touch base with like EXP Cloud and see what's coming up in the future. We just have hours and hours of training every single week. So jump in there and see what kind of topics that could help you out. Also, we're going to be touching on KvCore tonight, but remember, we've got tons of recorded classes inside of, let's see, it's inside of EXP University Library. And you can see we've got KvCore 101, beginner class with Brett K. He's like our expert for KvCore. Then of course there's SkySlope, and these Excel classes are awesome at the bottom too. These are all recorded, top icon agents, really great classes to go through. But I just wanted to remind you that we do have those classes all the time. And then also we have, let's see, on Thursday, this is every Thursday, and this is noon Mountain Time. We have KvCore Advanced Training. It's also taught by Brett K. And then on Friday, we have KvCore Q&A by Brett. So, I mean, we've got really, 2 awesome classes for KvCore. So if you ever get stuck and you want to figure out how to, do something in KvCore, this is like a more advanced training that EXP offers every single week. So jump into those if you have questions and want to dive, further into KvCore. So I just wanted to make mention of that real quick, so you guys were aware of that if you weren't already. This is my KvCore public website, and
You need to change your screen share, Eric.
it didn't change
You're still on
this
Workplace.
whole time.
Yeah, you're still on Workplace.
Am I still on this first page with Kristen?
No, you scrolled down when you switched to EXP University Library, but as soon as you went to like the training schedule and now you're going to KvCore, I think you're just switching tabs, but it's not switching on our end.
Okay.
We're still looking at the Excel series. If you look at that tab on Workplace.
Okay. Okay. Can you see the EXP Cloud?
No, it hasn't changed yet.
That's interesting. I'm having issues with that. How about now?
Yeah, I think you ran into that last week too, but
Yeah,
no,
I thought I got it fixed though a couple days ago. Can you see the EXP Cloud now?
nope. I see that you just shut off your screen share. If that's
How about that? Can you see the EXP Cloud?
it's pulling up. It says that you started sharing. Give us a sec. It's a black screen right now.
This is insane.
It says Eric Jones has started screen sharing, but there's nothing there.
Eric, we're gonna have to do this old school. Just meet up at Larry H. Miller Center, have a presentation.
Right? Like, oh, you mean like meet in person? How cool.
Yeah. I mean, this
Wow.
is after all.
Maybe we could even go to my office. What?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. What are you guys seeing now? Black screen?
Black screen. Remember last time I had to share my screen
Yes.
when you were doing like
I've done Zoom presentations all week. I don't understand what's going on. Okay, hold please.
please hold. Hey Jesse, welcome.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Where'd that little chunk go?
He's on the floor.
There he is. Hey, buddy. Hey, Lynn, you're on your phone? Are you driving?
Sorry about that. Yes, I am. I hurried and got off and called Sean Bennett. He's going to actually come in on the call with us. What we want, if I don't know if you guys are on a topic. I was in and listening to Eric talk for a second and then had to get over and talk to Sean. And so Sean's going to come in, but what Sean wanted to talk about, if you don't have a topic.
We do.
Okay, you are talking about topic? Okay, awesome. I just heard nothing. So.
Well, that's only because Eric's having a little difficulty in sharing the right screen. So he had kind of planned to go over some KvCore stuff. It was actually a requested topic by DL. And so we didn't get to it last week. And that's what he wanted to go over this week. But if Sean comes on and there's something you want to talk about after, we can.
Okay, I think everybody will probably really like the topic too. So Sean, if you're on yet, I don't know if you are, just stay on. Let's listen to KvCore because we all need this. New or not.
He's not on.
Not on yet? Okay.
No, Eric, we see the cloud training calendar now.
Okay, perfect. Must have something to do with my double screen, I guess. I don't know. Which I've been using forever, so.
I know, right? I
don't get it. So you can see my KvCore, right? The screen right here in the cloud.
Yep, the class.
Yep. So those are the two classes I just mentioned. They do every week that Brett does. Can you guys see my my public page then for my website?
Yep.
Okay. Good deal. Well, so this is kind of the basic public site. I've actually added a couple things to this. I've got a little sticky bar down here that I put some code in. I actually had one of my lenders add this for me. So it's basically just a link to get pre-qualified. Can you guys see that, Jeff?
Yep, it changed.
Good.
Nice. It's a good landing page.
Yeah. and I didn't design it. I just had them add it. So
Hmm.
also I've added a couple additional pages on just some other things that I like to do inside my business. One of them's a lease option page. So I just wanted to show you that you can add some custom pages to your site. And then this is also a landing page about grants. So just some fun extra things that you can do to your site if you want to do something a little bit more custom. Can you see my KvCore on the back end, Jeff?
Yep. Your dashboard.
Yes. I'm just readjusting my screen so I can see it.
Hmm.
Okay, perfect. So one thing I just kind of wanted to do a run through with everything. So this is your main dashboard where you can really see what's going on inside your business and who's landing on your page. And you can see that it's really only organized on this first page in time frame. So you can see that Kay Stewart sent me a text, no, I'm fine, thanks. Hold off till spring. You can see these updates, and I can see the clients that I am working with, which houses that they're looking at in real time. So this is a really handy way to manage your most active clients that are coming in. And you'll notice that right below the house or whatever the message is, you can see if I have their phone number to text, email, or call based on what's below it. So this lead, I only have an email for. So I can email them back, but I can't text or call. So it's a really nice way to stay on top of your clients that are looking every day. Now you'll notice I've got a property here with the same photo. This is actually from a property boost I just did a couple weeks ago, and that's why I have so many hits on that one property. And I'll show you that in a little bit as well. So and the marketing goes on, it goes behind the scenes. So you always, it's always working on your behalf. Like for example, this gentleman here, he said, yes, please, to one of my automated texts. So I, replied back to him and trying to work with him as well. So kind of gives you just an overview of everything that's going on. Your CRM is really basically all the clients and prospects in your system that you're working with. And one thing that I really like about the back end of this is I can filter it by which client that I want to look for. So if I want to send out a text to all of my SOI, I can check that one box, and then I can do a masked text by checking all of my clients here, and I can send out a personal text message to my clients. And then I can even add an MLS number in here if I wanted to with an MLS link. Now, KvCore has a bunch of preloaded ones that I can use, and also the ones that I've created if I want to just drop in a text message. So there's a lot of things that you can do that make it quick, right? To contact multiple people at the same time. One note on that is that number that it comes from is actually from either your KvCore phone number or from the main KvCore phone number for Utah. If you're using the main number, which is free, it will only come out of your KvCore, and any responses will only go to your KvCore because it's saved in the system. If you want to have your own phone number, which I do, I like having my own phone number. It's a KvCore add-on for $10 a month to have your own phone number. And that phone number is posted on the bottom of your site right there. So that's not my cell number. That's my KvCore phone number only. But I prefer having my own phone number on that. Another great thing about anything in your CRM is you see right below the name, you can see the little hashtags. So I know where that client came from. So this client came in from my grant page. This one came in when it starts with PB, that's a property boost. And I'll show you the property boost in a little bit too, just how I like to use them and how they work. So anybody have any questions at this point? One thing that I really like about KvCore is I can actually see what's gonna happen next. If they're in a campaign already, I can see what properties they looked at, of course.
Where to send me the number?
It's loading up here. Okay, so when you load up a name of a client or a prospect, it'll show you what has been recently sent, the date and the time. But right here where you've got future touch points, I can actually click on this and see what they're going to receive next and which reminders. So I know this one's been in the system a while, and that's why the time's further out, March 29th, but it'll ask them if they're still in the market. And these are actually little reminders that it sends me that I need to call and, you know, touch bases with them. And those reminders are actually put right up here on the top of your KvCore. So if I click on that, it'll tell me what needs to be done. So these past due ones are all from today. The due today, these are the ones that I need to do today that I haven't got to, and what's coming up. So nice little, you know, just a reminder. So if you stay on top of this every single day, all you have to do is just check your reminders. And one thing that you can do for that is for your SOI, if you want to touch them every 30 days or 60 days, reach out to them, you can just add a reminder to each one of your clients. So, oops, I didn't mean to do that. So, and the way to do that is you can just add a, let's see, sorry, wrong button. Right here where it says tasks, if I want to add a task, I can just say, you know, call and put in the date. I want to call her on the 21st and just hit add task. And that's going to add it to my tasks of thing to do. It's going to pop up for me to call that day. So really easy to add those tasks. If I want to edit it, I can just go in there and change it and say, actually, I meant to do that on the 27th, hit save, super fast. And it'll change when that task pops up in my system. So pretty handy. Another thing that I like to do is add a note where I can say, you know, sent to my lender, and I can pin it to the top, and it'll always stay up here in the top of my KvCore, so it's really easy to find right at the top of the client. And if I want to, I can actually CC my lender. So if I hit this button and update it, it'll send that lead right to my lender automatically, which is really nice. I don't know if you know this, but any of our lenders that we add to KvCore, they actually get this same system for free because we have it. So if you have a preferred lender that you want to add to KvCore and that's not on the system, we just send that into KvCore, they'll add it, and they can download the lender version, and they can get all the leads in real time, and they can actually reach out to them as well. So if you do any joint marketing together, the lender can actually call those leads, and they get them at the exact same time you do. So really, really cool, really convenient.
Hey, Eric, can I make one comment back on the when you make those notes? One thing that I found as far as the pin note goes that I like to do is when you get a new client, I'm speaking basically about clients, not necessarily your SOI. Say you got a buyer, you're asking them a ton of questions, right? Like what they're looking for, their price range, how many bedrooms, how many baths, the area, where they're moving from, their time frame, all those kind of things. That's what I like in the note that I pin to the top. So anytime I go to their contact for an update, or if they're calling me and I need to make another note, it's right there at the top, what their initial criteria was on why I'm working with them in the first place.
Yeah, that's perfect. Love that. Something that was recently added too is we actually have the bomb video. You can actually send a message and do a little BombBomb recording, even include your signature and do a quick little recording and send it to them. And if you aren't familiar with, doing BombBomb videos, they get opened quite a bit more and read, more than a standard email. So pretty nice feature that they've added. And then you can also do a voicemail drop as well. And I've used voicemail drops a lot, just, over the past couple of years to, when you're dropping to multiple clients at once, you can leave a message to them, and it actually just rings their phone, and it goes directly to voicemail, and it'll show as a voicemail, and they can just listen to a recording. So,
Hey, Eric,
yeah.
are these features additional, or are these just part of the fee that we pay a month?
So the core video is there's an additional fee if you want to do, I think it's more than 10 per month. I'll have to look. It's actually in the marketplace.
Okay, gotcha. I remember that. Okay, so these are additional add-ons that we can do.
Yep. You do get, I think it's 10 free per month, if I recall correctly.
I don't think the voicemail drop is an additional fee though, Sean.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
BombBomb is an integrated independent platform.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, BombBomb obviously is a third-party vendor that's added on to KvCore. So it's 10 personal video messages per month. But if you subscribe to it, then you can have, the unlimited amount. So if it's something that you use all the time, yeah, you can certainly do that.
Hey, Eric, do you know if BombBomb, is that email only, or can you send videos to their text number?
I've never tried to do the text number, so I'm not sure.
I think it might be video only.
Yeah, I think email only. Yeah, I believe it's email only. So probably one of the best features that we can use with our smart CRM is the smart campaigns. This was a little bit tricky to kind of figure out at first, but any campaign that you want to organize or create, depending on different hashtags or different clients, you can add those. So like you can have, this is an open house seller. So this is a campaign specifically for somebody that I meet at an open house, and then I add them into the system. So they're going to get specific messages based on the fact that I met them at an open house. This campaign is just for a new buyer that comes on to the website, and it is a text, email, call, complete campaign. It has 43 touches. And it takes a year to get through all 43 of those touches. And you can turn them on and off as you go, but all of these are, you can edit. But what I didn't know right away when I first got into KvCore is I didn't notice this drop down. There's actually 23 pre-built campaigns on different topics. So you can do like a renter for your sphere of influence, for, introducing it, properties to potential investors, and you can add them to your library and then turn them on or off depending on, which, what type of client they are or what their hashtag is. So a lot you can do in this area to build individual campaigns for different clients, either buyers or sellers or investors, or just your SOI, or a past client. A lot of different options there.
Eric, how do you get it to always run, and do we want it to always run?
So all you have to do to have it always run is you just turn it on or off, and it's based on this hashtag right here. So anyone that comes into this hashtag open house, is going to get this added in. So I add these in manually when I do an open house, for example, and then it'll start running.
So what did you do to turn that on? You just hit the little status bar?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Because I have one that says status on and it says always run and it says no.
So to edit that, let's see if I remember. So when you're in here, you can, let's see, this campaign is off. So if you come in and you edit it, you can actually go through and edit if it's going to come on, always run or not.
Oh, okay, cool.
So these on your campaign library, up at the top, you can click on templates, and this is how you adjust, templates. This is how you go in and edit all your different messages that you can use, like a call, a task, email, and edit them, and then you drop them into your campaign library. So a lot of good stuff in there. The class on KvCore 101 goes through, how to set all these up as well. So I know we're kind of short on time, but it goes through all those details on there. I use the call capture as well right here. I'm going to show you the call capture. This is in the, let's see, marketing autopilot. I didn't want to go to that yet. So under the marketing autopilot, you also have you have birthday and anniversary. So you can do automated text with just birthdays, anniversaries, and also there's a, like a holiday one that you can set automatically outside of your regular campaigns to just drop something unique and special to that one individual client. So that's nice to use. I use that during the holiday time, and it just sends out an automatic, I just use it for an email, but I have it in addition to my regular campaigns.
Does that one cost anything extra?
Nope, that one's included. Yep. So the next section here is the lead engine. This is really cool. I mean, you can actually build these landing pages right from here. And the way you use these is, you saw the landing page. This is how I built my grant pages. It is super easy to use. So you've got a lot of different templates. You can add a video if you like inside of the landing page, and it's super easy to edit. So I mean, if you want to you just type in and do your edits, and you can create any page that you want, and then you can take the link and you could post it on social media or wherever you want to send it. So any different topic that you want, it's super easy to create landing pages, and the leads will just drop into your KvCore. And then these squeeze pages are a little bit different. You can actually create squeeze pages based on an individual listing and also do search engines. So this is like a search engine landing page. And once you fill it all out, it'll give you the opportunity to create that link. So let's see. See if I can do it quickly. Yep. So it actually creates a search engine based on that zip code. That's all I did. So you can just post that anywhere. Are you looking for a house in Draper? Here's what's active right now. And that's just with one zip code on that page. So all you do is you drop in what details you want. If you want to get more specific, obviously you can, but you just drop in a zip code. You can draw a map, hit the generate link, and now you've got something that you can post somewhere.
And real quick, Eric, for those
Yeah.
of us who are technically challenged to this degree, to get it into a page, let's say on our Facebook page, is that something we can go on to EXP World and get help from tech support, or is there a specific person or place we can get help publishing these things?
As far as like publishing it on,
Yeah, like let's say I wanted to do what you just did there, right?
Mhm.
And I wanted to post that right on my Facebook page. Is there
Yep.
a way to give me instructions on how to do that?
You're basically going to copy this to a clipboard. So you just copy it, and then you can just drop it right into your share in Facebook.
Like if I wanted to post something, just right under the post, hit that and it'll show up.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
can you make it any harder?
It's really easy. Yeah.
Copy and paste, brother. You can do it. You can do it.
Copy and paste.
My life is copy and paste. I like it. Simple.
So yeah, it's
Cool.
super easy, and you can just, you can do like a market report, on a certain area. So if you want to do like Salt Lake County
Right.
and do a market report, generate the link, and you can share that too. So
Hey,
it makes it
Shaw, one of the things when you copy and paste a link into Facebook, it'll kind of like search for the site and put the preview in there. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Once that preview is in there, it becomes a link. So you can literally now delete what you just pasted into your post text area. That have to stay there now that the link preview has showed up, and then you can write your post. Hey, check out blah, blah, blah.
Right. Hey, one other quick question for Eric. I
Yeah.
do like to post a lot about grants. I've done that in the past, and they seem to be like really heavy for those, people that are looking for that.
Yep.
Is there something that can get them the actual grant? I mean, because I don't know where to go to get the grant specifically, but is there something back there that can show us how to get those grants? Or is that tied to your lender?
That's tied to your lender. Yep.
Okay.
That's not in KvCore, but mostly because every state and area has different, grants available. So I
Gotcha.
mean, if you want to get more information on that, you can let me know, and I can get you in touch with the lenders that I use that
Okay.
know all of those grants in different areas.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. I'll do that. Thank you.
One other thing I like is I use this call capture. It's really cool. This is something you can use in marketing, but you can also use it on a sign, for example. Let's see if I got one here. So I can actually put my phone number and then a custom code. And if I put that custom code somewhere, it will actually send the client clicking on it, calling on it, information that I sent them. So like this is a sign, like a sign writer. I'll just call my number or text this code to the phone number, and they'll get information on the property. And I can even include a MLS number, so it'll text it to them right then. And when they send that information in, so I've got some MLS numbers here on listings. When they send that in, it goes right into my KvCore as well. So that's a really cool feature. I don't know that a lot of people use that feature, but I really like it. I think it's a great feature, and it's just putting a sign writer on the bottom of one of your signs.
Adding the MLS number in there is pretty awesome too, because when you get the text back, when they send that code in there, it's got a pretty nice image like of the property and the listing, and it's a link right to the listing so they can get all the details. And then that takes them to your website. So if they go to your website and then they enter their information, well, they're going to be a lead twice, right? They're going to, just by texting, they're going to get entered into your KvCore website with their phone number that they texted from. But then if they go to your website and start looking at properties, it's going to capture all that as well.
Yep. I really like that. It's a really good feature. I don't think a lot of people use it, but I've really liked it. Let's see. Also, let me jump into Marketplace. I really like the, I've talked about this quite a bit. I like the KvCore Property Boost a lot. So what the Property Boost does is allow you to add in, I'll come down here to one. This is the one that I just did right at the end of the year on this property. This is not my listing. I got permission from the agent to advertise this MLS number. And this is all Facebook advertising. So they had over 1,400 impressions, 29 clicks, and I got 16 leads off of it. So these were 16 people out of the 1,400 that wanted more information on this property. So they put their information in. And this is just a 1-week ad that goes on Facebook. And this one cost me $45. Usually they're 60, but a lot of times KvCore sends out discount codes that you just add in when you run that boost. So if you're ever at a point where you want to get some extra leads, it's a really good way. You can see I have 33 leads, 28, 16. It's right, you know, holiday time, a little bit less than normal, but this is a great way to get some additional, you know, properties coming into your system. And it's super easy to put in. Let me see. I'll just type in any random address. And let's say I was going to advertise this home, which I wouldn't because it's not in Utah, but wouldn't work anyway because it's not on my MLS. But you just type in your address. You find that, well, look at that. That's a weird one. I'm not going to do that one. That one's ugly. Let's try a different one. See if this one in California looks nice. Cool. So when you put in an ad, it'll actually show you what it's going to look like on Facebook with the photo and some information just listed, 5-bedroom, 4-bath, Los Angeles. And here's your photo. And when they click on it, that's when they go to your website and how KvCore captures their information and starts that campaign on your behalf. And it's as easy as, I usually do a 1 week for $60. And you just put in your information and then you just check out and it'll launch it. It's usually within a day or two, it starts advertising for 7 days. Just a really good way to, bump up and get some leads coming in. And that's just Core Property Boost is what that is. Also, we've got the Facebook campaigns and also Google AdWords campaigns. And recently I've heard some people are having some really good success with the Facebook AI campaigns. And I haven't tried this one myself, but basically what it does is it'll do retargeting. So when when you go shopping for whatever, a new vacuum, you'll keep seeing it pop up in front of your on your screen as you go to different sites. That's what retargeting it is. And this one is just obviously all about properties in KvCore. So it follows them around and drops little messages to them on houses that are available. So that's I don't have experience on that one myself. I have run the Core Property Boost and also the Make It Rain, which you can do as low as $250 a month, and it'll just send leads to you all month long. I know that there's a lot of agents, including myself, that have got some really good leads from just doing the Core Property Boost. And the reason I like the Property Boost a lot is because I get to pick the property. I get to pick the photo, the exterior photo of what I like and what I think will appeal to a lot of people. And if it's a property in my area that I'm familiar with or a place I like to work, then I can, even go preview that house and really understand it and know everything about it. I talk to the agent, and I'll be much more informed about it when I talk to those leads on that property.
Hey, one other thing, Eric, let me add real quick on the Property Boost. Whether it's your listing or you got permission to boost somebody else's listing, as you all know, if you're working with buyers, they go under contract pretty quick these days, right? Well, once the property is changed to under contract, they won't see it on our public websites anymore. So if it's your listing, you have more control over it. But if it's somebody else's listing, ask them to at least put the status as backup instead of under contract during the term of your property boost that you've paid for. So you don't only get 3 days out of your 7 days that you paid for. If it's under backup status, it still shows for them that you've received an offer, but the public will see it actually when they click through your link and go to your site. So you want to monetize, your boost as much as possible, not just get a couple of days out of it.
Yep, that's a really great point too, because on that last one I did ask him what he when his house goes under contract, does he do backup or under contract? And he said backup, and I said that's perfect. And I explained to him why. And he was an agent with a different brokerage. One kind of a side point on the core property boost, if it's your listing, you have the option right when you hit submit and you've ordered it, you can put in an email address and a phone number of your seller. So it actually updates your seller every single day of how many impressions, how many leads that have come in on your property boost. So for a seller, it's great because they can see that you're doing something additional on top of just putting their house on the MLS. Obviously, you're actually doing some advertisement. So it's good for your seller to see that. When I'm advertising a property from another brokerage, I'll actually put their information in the listing agent in there. So, because I've already talked to them about getting permission to advertise their listing, now I'm showing them that I actually am advertising it and what I'm getting out of it. And just as a side point, it's kind of intriguing to other agents when they see that someone from not even their own brokerage and on a listing that they have, we're actually getting more leads than they are when we're just advertising their property. So it makes them kind of interested in what's going on with EXP and KvCore. I've actually had some really good agent discussions and even had a couple agents show up to an EXP overview because of the property boost. So just a side point, I like to do that as well. Anybody have any specific questions on KvCore or kind of what we covered? Kind of running through it pretty quick. One thing I will mention too is we do have the Learning Center for KvCore, and this is all KvCore. It has nothing to do with EXP, that you can actually come in and get some education on it. And at any time you can click on this this note section here to request information, or if you have specific questions about your site, or just how to do something, you can ask KvCore as well.
Hey guys, is this something specific just to EXP, the KvCore, or is this to just the way we brand it, but other brokerages have this too?
That's a great question. So there's actually some things in here that are specific to EXP that are above what you would get if you just purchased KvCore from a different brokerage. Like for instance, Make It Rain is an EXP program. There's a few add-ons in here that are EXP exclusives, but yeah, I mean this is the premium version of KvCore, which as an individual agent, it's $500 a month for the system. If you do, I think it's a 1-year contract after the $1,000 setup fee. So yeah, this is the premium account, but there are a few things that are added on in addition.
Cool.
Yeah, Shaw, anybody can purchase KvCore at any brokerage. It's a third-party provider that just has a relationship with KvCore, or I mean with EXP. Another thing to note there on the support part there, Eric, is in Workplace, there's a KvCore discussions group that's pretty awesome. There's a lot of good discussions that go on in there. If you have a question, it's likely another EXP agent has already asked it, and scrolling through their thread on KvCore discussions, you can really kind of dial in on how to use it successfully.
Awesome.
Yep. Yeah, that's really convenient too. So lots of help on it. and it's a massive program. So, I mean, you can spend a lot of time getting, really, really, good at it. So